About 60% of Burlington's population rents rather than owning a home. The city's Housing Board of Review is being asked to expand its responsibilities to Queen City tenants and landlords. Local 22's Mike Hoey shows us how.
Wednesday night, Karen Long told a committee of the Burlington City Council she wonders if the city's Housing Board of Review can become an active part of the cleanup process in certain neighborhoods.
I would really like my streets to not have loads of trash and mattresses and couches, and we just go around and around with this every year, and maybe it's just impossible because of the college campus life or something. I'm not sure.
The City Council's Community Development and Neighborhood Revitalization Committee got together to go over what the Housing Board of Review does.
I do think some of the complaints and some of the comments that folks have about the Housing Board of Review, they're really kind of mixed up with people's thoughts about code enforcement and how code enforcement is working these days. And I think you all might want to just sort of keep that separate.
The Housing Board of Review hears disputes about security deposits between landlords and tenants and appeals of code enforcement matters involving rental properties. The Burlington Tenants Union has asked for it to do more, and a city council member wants to know if that's possible.
It is great that this is a low-cost, legal option for tenants, but I feel like deposits aren't the only low-cost legal option that tenants need. And so I would be interested, I guess, to have a conversation just around what other options.
A recent former board chair has offered to step into that conversation.
I can certainly volunteer myself as a former board member. I had a lot of ideas during the 5 years that I was on there that I didn't feel appropriate to voice because I didn't want to be seen as weighing in on one side or the other. So certainly I'd be willing to volunteer myself.
With Ben Travers's involvement, the talks about what other services, if any, the Housing Board of Review may be able to provide will continue in the coming weeks and months. Mike Hoey, Local 22 News.
As Dr. Levine mentioned,